This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hey, Edinburgh and London.
Yeah.
We're coming to your cities this week if you're listening to this at the appropriate time. September 13th, we're going to be in Edinburgh, Scotland, doing a live show.
Yes, a live show.
At the Scottish Storytelling Centre. We do it every year. We love it. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
You should bring yourself, your loved ones, your friends. No pets, I don't think.
I don't think you can bring maybe a service animal.
Then we get on a choo-choo train, go right down to London, England on September 15th and 16th to King's Place, part of the London Podcast Festival. If you're going to another show there and not ours,
What the hell?
you're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah.
So check it out. That's Friday and Saturday in London. Wednesday
still
in Edinburgh.
available.
Yeah. So you can get tickets. Go to tcgte.com/tour. You'll find the ticket links there. Yeah. Email us, thecompleteguidetoeverything@gmail.com. If you're coming to one of the shows and want us to solve your problem on stage, just tell us what show you're going to be at. And guys, it'll be a lot of fun. I promise.
No, these are going to be great shows. I'm super excited for these shows.
Yeah, we actually prepared for them this time.
Yeah, they're going to be fun.
Yeah. tcgte.com/tour. See ya in the UK, people.
Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your host, Tom.
And I am Tim.
Tim, how are you?
I'm great this week, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in a good mood. It's almost the fall.
It is the fall.
Yeah. Well, no, not really. It's the unofficial start of fall.
Sorry
This
if
is
I'm
past
unofficial.
weekend.
Sorry if I don't pay my union dues to the fall.
I am unofficial, which is why I'm wearing this black and white striped shirt.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm taking a dig at you because, I know you wear it. I know you don't have to wear that. You just do it to rub it in my face.
No, my boss is down at the Foot Locker. They tell me I have to.
Aren't you going to ask how I am this week,
Hey,
Tim?
Tom, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing great, Tim. I got married this week.
That's not true.
It is. No, I got married. It was a real quickie one.
What happened is I got married this weekend, and you showed up, tried to upstage me with I imagine she was some sort of prostitute, but you also hired a priest.
Yeah.
And two witnesses to come during my wedding reception.
They were, truth be told, they were all prostitutes. I don't know if the outfits gave it away that wasn't a real priest, that wasn't a Catholic priest. It was, it was a woman of the night.
Really?
Yeah.
Just with short hair?
It was short hair and like an encyclopedic knowledge of the New Testament.
Yeah. And now that I think about it, that wasn't a priest collar. It was a dog collar.
She was also a dominatrix. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you didn't upstage me, Tom.
No.
Nobody thought it was funny. My uncle punched you in the face.
Yeah.
And we all regretted inviting you.
No, Tim, it was a lovely wedding.
Thank you.
It was one of the most fun weddings I've ever been to.
Who was there? I was there.
I mean, I wish I had gotten, you'd told me a little bit ahead of time. You told me, the party was already happening, and you were like, hey, if you're not busy, you can come to my wedding. You sent me a text.
Yeah, I mean, that happens at most weddings. Like, you have a guest list, and then some people drop out last minute.
Right.
So you kind of have the B list, and then the B list can't make it, so you go to the C list, and if they don't show, you text the D list during the ceremony.
Well, Tim, it was just nice to see you outside of work for once.
It was.
Yeah.
Outside of the old grind.
Yeah. No, it was a very fun wedding. I had other things to say about it, but I didn't write them down. I forget what they were.
All right.
You had a bonfire there. Mm-hmm. It was very dangerous.
I mean, why? Because you burned yourself trying to roast a Twinkie?
Yeah. I feel like those Twinkies were put out there as like a trap for me.
For dummies.
Yeah. Because I was amazed. I was like, why did everybody use all the s'more stuff and all the Twinkies are still here?
You say s'mores.
S'mores.
Yeah, no, my mom kept saying, she bought all the...
I learned it from her.
She kept saying, I bought all the s'mores sticks.
Yeah.
Just say s'mores.
She told me to say s'mores. She corrected me.
She's a bad influence on you. I've been saying it. Stop hanging out with my mom, Tom.
We have a lot of mutual friends.
It's true.
It's hard not
sad,
to.
but true.
But congratulations, Tim,
Thanks, Tom.
on really doing it.
Yeah.
And finally marrying somebody who wasn't previously married to me.
Yeah, well, I imagine
it's nice to see you expand your horizons a little bit.
those old ladies made their choices, Tom. They made their own decisions. They got sick of you.
Well, it sounds like, you know what?
And when they were in hospice, they decided, hey, I'll marry Tim and write him into my will.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, it's a real shit move. You know, you put the time into these old ladies. And then to have somebody swoop in.
You set them up, I knock them down. That's what we always say.
You shouldn't knock them down, Tim. They're very old.
Yeah, I know. Well, when you're the beneficiary, sometimes you got to knock an old lady down.
How else was your week?
It was good, Tom.
Yeah.
Let me give you a slice of married life.
Okay.
So I share an apartment with my wife.
Oh, boy. I can imagine what that's like.
Yeah. Much like the last 4 years of my life. So they set up my
The
buzzer.
last 4 years where you were living in sin.
Yeah, living in sin.
Yeah.
The devil lived with us.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That must have been awesome.
It was awesome. Talk about flame-broiled Twinkies.
Yeah, I bet he was like, no problem. I'll just
Yeah.
snap my devil fingers.
He'd shoot the fire out of his fingers, Tom.
Yeah, he's great.
But he wouldn't burn down the place because he was staying with us. He was living with us.
Yeah, well, that's the devil you know.
Yeah. So anyway, the buzzer is hooked up. Like, you know how somebody comes, like a food delivery guy or something?
Yeah.
They hit the buzzer at the front door.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And then usually in a normal apartment, there's a buzzer.
A lot of times for me, it's friends.
Nah, I don't think that's true.
Yeah,
It's my mom's friends.
Hardly ever a delivery man.
And normally there's a buzzer in your apartment, and when it's hooked up, when somebody buzzes at the front door, your buzzer buzzes, and you can talk to them, say, "Hey, you can come up," and then you buzz them in.
Yeah,
These people in my building,
maniacs.
they set it up so that you hit the buzzer and it calls a telephone number. So they're like, put your telephone number in there.
Yeah, so you put in a long distance call to really screw them.
Yeah. So they're no, because like for the longest time they were like, oh, we can't do that, and we were like, well, we can't. We need a buzzer, right?
Right.
So they put it in. That's neither here nor there. So now, whenever I don't have a landline, so whenever anybody hits my buzzer, my cell phone rings, which is fine if I'm there. But like if my wife is home and I'm not, and she orders food or has friends or a gentleman caller over, my phone will ring. Have we talked about this?
Not in such detail, I don't think.
Yeah. So, but like I was at work today.
Yeah.
Working like an honest 9 to 5. And my phone is in my pocket.
Where do you work again?
I work down at the plant.
Right. Okay.
So my phone is in my pocket. And it starts ringing. When your phone rings, Tom?
Yeah.
Do you just panic?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh shit, something terrible happened, or I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Or somebody's in trouble.
Anytime my phone rings, well, I have the Apple Watch too, and the Apple Watch is like pretty subtle about everything. Like, if I get an email or a text, it's like, pop, pop.
Tell that to the Boston Red Sox, right?
Well, jeez, don't get me started.
They were hoping it was more subtle.
Yeah. But it just gives you like one or two taps, which is like one of the things I really like about it. When the phone's ringing, it's just like, it's just like shaking your arm off. Like, the phone's ringing, answer it. It's an emergency. Yeah, so I hate when the phone rings.
Yeah, so like I was petrified. And then like I've been meaning to put the number that calls like from the buzzer into my phone so I know it's the buzzer. But it's always just some random 718 number. So I'm like,
oh, it changes?
No. But like I see it coming up. I haven't learned it yet.
Right.
And I'm too lazy to put it in. So it rings today and I'm terrified. I pick it up and I'm like, hello. And then I'm like, oh, it's the buzzer. And there's a lady in there, and she goes, not in the phone, in the vestibule.
In the buzzer.
Yeah, maybe. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. I hit your buzzer with my elbow. And I was like,
Ooh.
okay, that's fine. And then I, reflexively, you hit 9 to buzz them in.
Yeah.
And then I hung up. And I was like, okay, whatever. My phone rings again.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, no, 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 no. You don't have to buzz me in. My elbow accidentally hit the buzzer.
Just take the buzz in.
And I was like, okay. And then, like an idiot, I reflexively hit 9 because that ends the call. Like, it buzzes and ends the call.
Well, now
she
you're
called
just
me
trolling
a
her.
third time.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think you misunderstand. I'm not trying to come to your apartment.
What you
My
trying
elbow
to do then?
hit the buzzer. And I was just like, then fucking leave my building.
Yeah, stop trying to
Get
live
out
in
of
my
there.
vestibule.
Yeah, she hit it with her elbow the first time,
Yeah.
and then was so concerned she had to call back twice and to explain what happened. I don't care, lady. Get out of there. I called the police.
Good. He told him, there's a woman with an automatic rifle in my vestibule.
I swatted her, Tom.
Good thinking.
Yeah.
Why don't, you know what, I can get you set up with something.
Can you?
Yeah.
What? You can't, be like, we'll table this. Like, this isn't an interesting conversation. If this could take a turn for the interesting, don't save it for off the podcast.
I mean, it wouldn't be interesting. I know a guy you can get a gun from. Tim, what are we talking about this week?
Buzzers.
No, we're not talking about fucking buzzers.
Well, we have been, and it's been very exciting. It's been very illuminating, I think.
Buzzards. My brother, actually, since we're on the topic of buzzers,
Nice.
He's got one of those Ring doorbells in front of his house.
Doorbell that goes ding dong, boom, 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 boom,
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, my neighbors across the street growing up had that doorbell.
Right.
Yeah, it took like 45 seconds every time you rang the
Enough
doorbell.
is enough.
Yeah,
Wait,
Jesus.
You guys live in Big Ben? Give it a rest.
Especially in the burbs.
Yeah.
I'm talking suburbs. You get a ring and run situation, keep you up all night.
Yeah. My brother and his wife have one of those Ring doorbells, which is not that's the brand name.
Yeah, it's a camera.
It's a camera and like a Wi-Fi deal where when somebody rings the doorbell, it makes a noise like you'd expect, but it rings like both people's phones or, more than both people. You love the commercial. What's your famous?
Oh, yeah, because somebody rings your doorbell and this lady's at work.
Right. But because they market it on TV as like a way to keep robbers away.
Yeah, and there's a guy like in a robber ski mask or something, or just like a.
He's dressed like the Hamburglar.
Yeah,
or something.
he's just kind of like a scumbag. He's like, I'm selling things, and she goes, I'm bathing my children right now.
Yeah, which sounds like the most vulnerable situation you could be in.
Exactly.
I have my children are naked and they're in water, which like if I'm not here, they could drown in this water.
Yeah, I can't pick them up; they're too slippery.
Right. They're not old enough to bathe themselves, so they're very young. So I'm going to be very protective.
I'm all
of them.
alone in this one. Yeah.
Yeah. What a horrible commercial. But anyway,
Well, what a no, just bad thinking from that lady.
yeah,
I'm on the toilet.
I'm cleaning my guns.
Oh yeah, I'm cleaning my guns on the toilet.
I'm cleaning my Gatling gun. It's
With toilet
attached
water.
to the roof. And boy howdy, it'll cut a man in half.
Yeah, and then you play that scene from Angels with Dirty Faces.
Right.
You go
Yeah,
1,
it's
2, 10.
It's like this woman hasn't even seen Home Alone.
Jesus Christ, lady, what are you doing? Imagine Kevin McAllister was like, "Sorry, wet bandits, I'm bathing the kids."
Yeah, they'd be like, "Great, we'll help ourselves solve the Christmas presents."
Because we love water. We love,
Yeah, well,
let
they're
us in
the
that
wet
bath.
bandits.
Yeah. Done half the job for us. Half the job is flooding the house.
It's true. But that doorbell, I feel like kind of stinks because, like, I was ringing the door to see if they were home, and neither were home. But it's like, oh, now it's going to both their phones.
Mm-hmm.
bothering both of them when, like, I have a key to the house and I was just going to let myself in the house, steal everything.
Bathe your kids.
Bathe my children.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm bathing my children.
That's not what we're talking about this week.
Yeah, no.
What are we talking about, Tim?
Tater chips.
We're talking about potato chips, a.k.a. fried potato slices.
Tom?
That's the PC way to say it, to call them.
I have they're also known as crisps.
Yes.
And I have a statement that that we both drafted together today that I'd like to read.
I mean, I don't remember drafting this, but okay.
We here at The Complete Guide to Everything recognize that people from many different countries listen to this podcast to educate themselves about the world around them. We appreciate all of your support and your undying loyalty and the hundreds upon hundreds of marriage proposals we receive from all corners of the globe. One of them worked on me.
Yeah, well, I got you on an off day.
Yeah. We also understand that different regions have different names for the same things. This can often cause confusion or annoyance when someone hears a different region's word for something. But let me be clear. Actually, maybe the former president.
Well, yeah, maybe we should have the former president,
Yeah.
Barack Obama, who's sitting right here at all times, take that part for you.
All right, let's do it again.
Let me be clear.
The Complete Guide to Everything is an American podcast. For the purposes of our conversations today, we will refer to chips, not crisps, elevators, not lifts, cigarettes, and not that horrible slur that is used widely throughout the United Kingdom. If we knew what a lorry was, which we don't, we would use whatever the appropriate American word for that is. Please, if you were offended by the fact that we're saying potato chips instead of crisps, please don't email us, tweet at us, or write about it on Reddit. Instead, we kindly ask you to go screw. Also, be sure to come to our live shows next week in Edinburgh and London.
Well, that's a hell of a stump speech, Tim.
Thank you.
You got my vote.
Thanks. You know, a million people, like, because it'll be called potato chips on the thing. A million people are going to be like,
Oi,
oh,
oi,
you mean
oi.
crisps? We shouldn't be fucking.
People
Please
are
go buy
returning
tickets.
their
Yeah,
tickets
please
now.
come to the shows. People are listening to it. They're like, oh, the show's today. Maybe we should. Oh, nope. They hate us. They're 10 minutes in, they're admonishing us for the way we speak.
Yeah. So for the purposes of this podcast, we're calling them chips because that's how me and Tim were raised.
Like good boys, good American boys.
Tim, I want to tell you a little bit about the history of potato chips because I had no idea.
All right.
The earliest known recipe for potato chips is in William Kitchener's, which, Kitchen.
Yeah.
Well,
it's his cookbook.
His cookbook, The Cook's Oracle. And I guess one of his prophecies was like, one day they'll call the kitchen after me, Kitchener.
Yeah.
They'll be like, well, if he was a Kitchener, he must spend his time in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's the best that the historians could do.
First published in 1870, which is a bestseller in England and the U.S., much like us. The 1822 edition's version of Recipe 104 is called Potatoes Fried in Slices or Shavings. And
Why don't you just call it fried potatoes?
And reads, peel large potatoes, slice them about 1/4 of an inch thick, or cut them in shavings round and round, as you would peel a lemon. Dry them in a clean cloth.
Wait, that's how you
and
make...
fry them in lard or drippings. What did you think potato chips were?
Wait, how do you peel a lemon? You pull off the skin, like, bit by bit, right?
Yeah, but you can,
You'd slice.
peel it.
You'd slice.
You can take the peel off. You can have, like, a rind for a drink. It's like that.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
same thing.
You know what I don't like?
What's that?
When a recipe calls for lemon zest or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and you gotta, like, grate the lemon a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's so dirty. Like, you can't get that clean. That's like a dang sponge.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, it's hard to get a lemon clean.
Yeah, the outside at least.
Yeah.
The inside stays
Clean
clean
as a
thanks to
whistle.
that rind.
Tim, I dug a little bit deeper about this William Kitchener, and I think he's a man after your own heart.
Why? Did he fry everything?
No, Unlike not this
Did he love the ladies?
not this beginning part, but a later part. Unlike most food writers of the time, he cooked the food himself. So he like reviewed his own food, I guess.
No, wait. He made recipes.
Yeah. Wash up afterwards.
Everybody else is like do this and then have the slaves you own make it.
Wash up afterwards and performed all the household tasks he wrote about. That's not what you identify with. It's this next part. He traveled around with his portable cabinet of taste, a folding cabinet containing his mustards and sauces.
Wow, this guy's great.
He is also the inventor
Never
of
thought to bring my mustards everywhere with me.
in a cabinet of taste.
Yeah.
Tim, you'll be taking your cabinet of taste to the
Can
UK.
you imagine at freaking a restaurant, the like maitre d' coming over like, can you please
Put away your cabinet of taste.
your cabinet full of mustards, of all different sorts of mustards?
Sir, these are just regular store-bought mustards. We have these. You don't have to bring your own.
The cabinet is causing a fire hazard. It's huge.
Gigantic. It's powered by a steam engine.
Yeah, well, I have lots of mustards, and I like to keep them chilled.
Two other things about him. He is also the creator of Wow Wow sauce.
What is Wow Wow sauce? Is that like donkey sauce?
Kind of, but I looked into it. I don't know if it's good or not. It's just got like everything. It's like 11 ingredients in one, and nothing like too crazy.
Spices?
It's like spices,
What's the
ketchup,
base?
mustard,
Oh, okay.
a Worcestershire sauce. Like everything is in this Wow Wow sauce.
So like something like 6-year-olds would like, or 8-year-olds, let's say,
All right.
take out of the fridge and like dare the fat kid to eat for $5.
It sounded like it might be good, but the thing
Wow Wow sauce, shuffle.
the thing I read, it didn't get into the specifics of how much of each were in, which I feel like is crucial.
Yeah, I
But
need
then,
the recipe. We'll have to buy his book.
Well, so
That way we can
and
make our own potato chips and our own Wow Wow sauce, Tom.
the third thing about him is relating to that book. In that book, that same early 1800s book where he gave the first recipe for potato chips, he gave 11 different recipes for ketchup.
Wow,
Why
I
aren't
make
there
my own
statues
ketchup.
to this man?
Tom. Well, they were all torn down.
No, I think you've got this confused about. This man was English. I don't think he had anything to do with anything
It was
over here.
1817 that
Yeah.
he produced this book.
The first edition, I think. Yeah.
Well, good for Mr. Kitchener. You made your own food. You reviewed your own food. You had a cabinet of tastes.
Yeah. And
Sounds like
11 different recipes for ketchup.
you lived a delicious life, my friend.
Yeah. He seemed like a real maniac. He seemed great.
He invented potato chips. You bite your tongue. I
Yeah.
don't really like potato chips, truth be told.
You know what? I don't really like potato chips either.
All right. Well, here's the thing.
See you next week.
Here's the classic chip. Can we agree on this?
Okay.
The Lay's original.
Like with ridges or without?
Without ridges.
Oh.
Or the Y's. Wait,
I think probably the Lay's.
how do
is
they
some
do
more
the
common.
ridges? Kitchener didn't have that in his
You did-
cabinet.
Yeah. Well, another thing Kitchener didn't have in his cabinet for potato chips was salt. There was no flavoring on the first chips.
Yeah.
But I guess everything tasted like shit back then anyway.
Yeah.
So probably just a fried potato was the most amazing thing people could ever
That's
imagine.
true. Did they have French onion dip?
I don't think they had French onion dip
Did
yet.
people buy the Hidden
They
Valley
didn't have
packets?
prepackaged
And then you
French
mix
onion
it up
dip
with some sour cream?
No.
That's when I like it. A potato chip, my friend.
with some sour cream and onion
Dipping.
Dip.
Yeah. Some sort of cream-based onion dip.
Tim, how should we approach? Because this is a big topic.
Sure is.
What should we start with? Because we can start with brands. We can start with flavors. We can start with more history.
Let's jettison history. Or you have more do you have interesting factoids?
Nah, I mean some shithead later tried to be like, I invented this. He sliced potatoes razor thin. This guy.
Okay.
So this guy, However, a legend associates the creation of potato chips with Saratoga Springs, New York, decades later.
I love New York, baby.
Yeah, but decades later, come on.
Yeah, but it's New York. You know what? Italy might have invented pizza, but who perfected it? New Yorkers.
True.
Mwah.
Stop doing that.
Hey, paisan. Let's eat the pizza. Ray's
Tim,
original.
I've warned you about going
Penn
too
Station.
ethnic on this show. By the late 19th century, a popular version of the story attributed the dish to George Crumb. What a
Ooh,
name.
I like that name. Everybody's got such a good name. Well, you know what? You're going to eat some potato chips. They're going to be crumbs.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have a B in his
Did
name.
they name the crumb after him?
No, I don't think so. He was half black, half Native American cook at Moon's Lake House who was trying to appease an unhappy customer on the 24th of August.
Was it a baby?
1853. No, I'll get to the twist of who they, marketing says it was. The customer kept sending his French fried potatoes back, complaining that they were too thick. So he was getting French fries, also known as chips, but not these chips, French fries.
What year was this?
1853.
This guy seems like he was having a very easy life. And
I'll get
some
to that.
Jerk, it was like, your potatoes are wrong.
Frustrated, he sliced the potatoes. We're talking about crumb now. He sliced the potatoes razor thin, fried them until crisp, and seasoned them with extra salt. To Crumb's surprise, the customer loved them. So he, the story is like he did as a oh, you want them thin? You want them crispy? Well, I'll give them to you thinner and crispier than you could ever imagine.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. They soon became called Saratoga chips, a name that persisted into at least blah, blah, blah. In 1973, they had a national advertising campaign by the St. Regis Paper Company, which manufactured the packaging for the chips, that said that customer, the complaining customer, was Cornelius Vanderbilt of the famous Vanderbilt family.
Of the Vanderbilt Planetarium.
The Vanderbilt. I've been thinking a lot about lately about becoming old rich.
Yeah, me too.
Being old rich seems like the best way to be rich.
That's
right?
why I married into that patrician family, Tom.
Right.
Is that a word, patrician?
I don't know.
Thing.
I wasn't
like
really
it's
sure. Right. Is that a type of doctor?
Yeah, I think so.
Being old rich is the best. If you're like a Vanderbilt or a Rockefeller.
An aristocrat or a nobleman.
Yeah.
That's me, yeah.
There you go.
I know words.
That's the best way to be rich. Because when you're new rich, everybody knows oh, you're gross.
Yeah, you bought a sports car.
You buy sports cars, where when you're old rich, you buy old Rolls Royces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you thumb your nose at everybody.
Yeah, but you don't make a big show of it. You just talk to the other old rich people about how gaudy and tacky people are.
Borrow Grey Poupon from each other, from each other's cabinets of taste, except in your Rolls Royces.
Yeah. I like talking about how tacky people are, and I'm not even any kind of rich.
Yeah. Maybe if we just start acting more like rich guys.
Yeah.
Old rich guys.
Yeah. Old rich. We should just wear old suits. Old musty suits.
We'll go to that
we'll get old money
theater with the frog and the pig and the bear putting on a show, and we'll sit in the balcony and shit all over them.
Yeah. Screw them.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Trying to put on a show.
It's not
Man, you would make a terrible Statler or Waldorf. You gotta be quick. You gotta be quick with the quips, Tom.
I was gonna say that their show's not.
To put these fucking Muppets in their place, and you're stammering
that's why
there.
I can't be. I was gonna say they're not half bad. They're all bad.
Oh, there you
but
go.
Now it's too late. They're moving on to the next segment.
It's like if I saw Statler and Waldorf, one of them say that, give the performance you just gave, I'd be like, oh man, I pity these guys. Where are their sons? Why didn't somebody put them in a home?
Yeah, we got to put Statler in a home now. Were Statler and Waldorf old rich?
They seem like it. They were named after those old hotels in New York City.
Yeah,
They're
they
like,
always
"Whoa."
seemed like fake old. Like old rich, but like the family had run out of money 50 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like they had like nice stuff. Like they might have lived in like a real nice house, but like they couldn't, afford electricity for it.
Yeah. Yeah, like what are those oh god, I'm blanking. What's that documentary about those old ladies who were
Grey
masochists?
Gardens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like the male Grey Gardens, and they just
Yeah.
they had no, like they just hung out at the Muppet Theater. As
Just to pass the time.
yeah, so they went
Jesus,
crazier
that actually
and
makes a
crazier.
lot of sense because, like, why else were they there? Who were they critiquing the shows for?
Yeah.
They weren't hired by anybody.
They had nowhere. They had nothing else to do.
Yeah,
Their
they didn't have
money
like
was
a
no
column
good. Yeah.
somewhere.
Ah, pity those
Oh,
guys.
they
huh?
figured him out, huh?
Yeah. So ranch or sour cream and onion?
All right, Tim, let's talk flavors.
Can I make a blanket statement about
Blah,
flavor?
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it would be a good Porky Pig, I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much. Tom, most flavors?
I know you're going to say most flavors stink or most flavors are overrated.
No. They kind of taste the same. There's
That's
only so many flavors.
100% untrue.
I think there are like 5 or 6 flavors that are on a potato chip, and then at some point they get into these novelty things,
Right.
And it's just like a bunch of spices, and it's like I can vaguely taste like there's one spice in there that was like in some like flavor lab, but like if you had like a spoonful of it, it would like be the worst thing ever. But like
yeah.
a dusting of that with other spices makes it like, oh, there is a hint of shrimp on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had I've only been to Asia one time. I went to Thailand and Japan, and I tried to eat as many crazy potato chips as I saw. Why was I at so many rest stops? I was at like a bunch of like roadside rest stops. Oh, I guess we were driving.
Did you drive
somewhere.
to Japan?
I drove to Japan across the land bridge. But I remember getting these Pringles that had like no English on the can whatsoever, but it was just a shish kebab. But then also on the shish kebab with like normal things, peppers and onions and like meat, and chicken and shrimp maybe. There were also bombs, explosive bombs.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a spicy one.
I thought maybe it's like a Pop Rock situation. You shouldn't
No.
even mention Pringles. Pringles is a different beast.
We'll get into all that.
Will we?
All right, let's get into it right now.
Pringles are a sham. They're 42% potato content.
What's the rest?
Wheat
Seasoning?
starch and flours, vegetable oils, an emulsifier, and salt and seasoning. Here's what happened, Tom. This is crazy because, we had that whole thing earlier, this whole dust up about chips
Right.
in the U.S.
Oh, I know
and
where
crisps
you're going.
in
Yeah.
the U.K. So Pringles came out in the 70s, and all the other potato chips were like, no. They can't call them
You're
potato
not
chips.
potato chips, you
Yeah.
sons of bitches.
And so what did they do? They went to big government, big brother, and they're like, hey, FDA, they can't call them potato chips.
Yeah.
So the FDA was like, yeah, you're right. It's like that mayonnaise that was like, we're mayo. And then like all the egg mayonnaises are like, not if you don't have eggs, you jerk.
Yeah.
So the FDA said they ruled that they could only use the word chip in their product name in the following phrase, quote, potato chips made from dried potatoes. Which
Okay.
like that had to, they couldn't be like Pringles potato chips. They could be like potato chips made from dried potatoes, like on the front.
Right.
So they're like, screw that. So in the U.S., they started calling them potato crisps.
Yeah. So
And in the
those are the only
UK,
crisps.
the UK, same thing. Like to get ahead
vice
of it,
versa.
they call them potato chips there.
Huh.
So
Boy,
if we
Mr.
go there,
Pringles, clever son of a bitch, huh?
yeah, yeah, and they came in a tennis ball can.
I never put that together. That,
really?
Yeah, it's kind of like a.
That was
Man,
like, I think that was the topic of conversation for 60% of my conversations when I was like between the ages of 5 and 9. It was just like, you ever notice the Pringles can is like a tennis ball can?
You know what? I think it wasn't until like somewhat late in my childhood that I learned that tennis balls came in a can.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I mean, I never had
what
like
kind
new
of old
tennis.
rich person are you, Tom?
Well, no,
You
it
gotta
wasn't
know
like.
about tennis.
Well, yeah, that's why
You
I'm
got
not
a
old
lot
rich.
to learn, my friend. This is
Yeah.
gonna be a real fish out of water situation when you find yourself in an old rich family.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know they came out of a can. I thought they came out of the stream. Just old and musty already. I still don't really understand why they're in a can.
I don't know, so they don't roll away.
Makes a lot. Well, if the can rolls away, well, the can can only roll one way, where the
Yeah,
the
you
tennis
know where
balls
it's
can
going.
roll
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, back to flavors.
I was gonna say, since we're talking about this is what Wikipedia they classified it as similar food, which I feel like is just throwing so much shade at potato chips. Similar food.
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on, it's more than similar. Pringles or Lay's Stacks. I don't think I've ever had a Lay's Stacks.
It's pretty much the same thing as
They try and make it look like a more extreme version of Pringles.
Yeah. And they succeeded. It's really cool. They're fine. They taste just like Pringles.
Also in this category, Munchos.
Munchos are a little different.
Well, because they have air put into them.
Yeah, Munchos. I used to really love Munchos. And the last time, like when, my early teens,
Right.
I was a Munchos maniac, Tom.
Right.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it here.
Yeah,
I'm going to put some salt on it.
You have been diagnosed with the what is it, DSIM of Munchos mania.
Okay. Yeah, they couldn't find a cure. I cured myself. Apparently, because last time I ate a Muncho was...
Immersion therapy.
Yeah. Well, one time, last time I ate a Muncho, I was probably 25 years old, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't care for it, and I never went back.
I think I've only had Munchos like a handful of times.
They
and
were the rest.
No pun intended, because you can have a handful of Munchos.
That's true. At a time.
Yes.
I would always get them at rest stops, like you would get Japanese Pringles.
Right.
So like when everybody else was getting combos, I was like, oh, there's Munchos here.
Well,
I don't see Munchos out in the wild.
Wow, you really missed out, because combos. The only time to get combos is during rest stop visits.
Guess what, dickhead? My brother got the combos. I got the Munchos. I got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, but Munchos stinks, so
Yeah, they
it's not
do.
really. French's potato sticks. Have you ever had these?
Yeah. Those seemed more elegant to me.
Well, because French's, they make the mustard. French's makes like...
They make those fried potato things.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, French's is like a supermarket company.
I got those French's fried potatoes. I mean, onions.
Fried onions, yeah.
No. I didn't get the onions. I got the... No, I did get the onions. I was looking for the potato sticks. I put them on a hot dog or a fake hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, changed my life.
Yeah, no, that's called something. They do that somewhere often.
One thing that you're going to be disappointed that we canceled at the last minute from the wedding because I was too lazy. I wanted to, because we had a grill there if we needed it.
Yeah.
I wanted to, how the only people left around midnight were like us and our friends.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a late night hot dog bar where we'd get all the fixins for hot dogs.
That would have been great.
I'd have grilled up some dogs, and I specifically so we could get those French's fried onions on there.
It's that good on them, huh?
All the mustards from my cabinet of tastes would be there.
For the first time, you have opened up your cabinet of tastes.
Well, here's the thing.
the
that was
public.
part of the dowry. So I got my wife's father, my father-in-law, presented me with a cabinet of tastes.
Yeah. And he said, I'd like to share this with my friends.
Yes.
And he said, well, I don't agree with that, but it's too late now.
Yes. You've taken my daughter's hand
If I had
in marriage.
known you were going to do that, I would have never agreed to this.
Yeah.
But, a deal is a deal.
Yes. For we are old rich, and all your friends are new rich. They don't even know how tennis balls come.
Another similar food, Andy Capp's hot fries.
Fuck yes. Andy Capp's hot
really?
fries.
Oh, I hate Andy. I feel like they
my.
made a bunch of Andy Capp's hot fries in the 70s. There was one big batch, and they're still floating around.
I mean,
out there.
the supporting evidence to your theory twofold. One, nobody eats Andy Capp's hot fries. Number two, nobody outside of the 70s knows who Andy Capp is.
Yeah, when I was a lifeguard as a teenager, the concession stand had, they had a bunch of stuff, but they had Andy Capp's hot fries, and they would like run out of everything. Like I think they would like go to the store in the morning, get what they thought they needed for the day, and that was it. And they were always trying to push us on like, well, we don't really give you guys a discount, but you can have free Andy Capp's hot fries. I'm like, no,
They're
thanks.
so good, Tom. But like, it is like if in like 2037, they're like, hey, kids, here's this Urkel cereal.
Yeah.
Like
It's an insane.
Yeah.
At this point that they haven't like rebranded those, like Andy Capp is not
I think he's
getting
best
you.
known for his hot fries these days.
Yeah, but it's still not very well known.
Yeah, well, they're great.
And the
A
last
great treat for
Oh.
your cafeteria.
the last similar food I have is and apparently there's one variety of this left, but the chips that they made with Olestra,
Oh yeah, the
diarrhea chips.
Well, it's fat that wouldn't get absorbed by your intestines,
yeah,
right?
they come out of your loose stool.
They were like, Eureka, we found it. Like, your body won't absorb this fat.
Yeah, they
and
could've
then they
just-
forgot to be like, but where does that go? It drips out your butthole while you're going about your day.
Yeah, while you're out on the ski slopes or whatever.
Yeah. Ski slopes wouldn't be so bad. You got a lot of insulation in there.
Well, what if I'm wearing all white, as I tend to do?
That's true.
Why-
Like a real snow bunny.
Yeah, I want to live up to the name of Snow Bunny.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even as a kid when Olestra came out, it was called Olean. They had like,
Yeah,
the Wow chips. That's what they're not Wow Wow sauce, but just like Wow chips.
Yeah.
Um,
Kitchener must be rolling in his grave when that happened.
yeah, and I
Sees
remember
Miss Piggy eating them by the pool.
even as a kid when they were like, oh, the way this works is the fat molecules are too big for your body to digest. And I was like, well, they gotta go somewhere. I mean, if they're not,
They don't by any chance just leak out your butthole while
Yeah,
you're going about your day, do they?
yeah, they're not just like so desperate to get out of your body that they'll betray it just to get out. Well, will they? But apparently there's still like a Lay's Light that uses Olestra. I mean, they could have just been like, we took out all the fat in these chips and we replaced it with plastic so your body can't absorb it.
Yeah.
It'd be fine. At least
Maybe
my poops
plastic.
would be solid.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of plastic.
Be
most
shiny,
days.
too.
Yeah. No, I think the Olestra ones are pretty shiny, to be fair. They're very oily.
Yeah. All right, Tom.
That's the thing, too. Not to get too gross here.
I bet,
But
but
the-
I bet you will get too gross.
But the last thing you want leaking out of your butt is oil.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
Jeez,
I'd
give me
rather
anything.
oil than like poop.
No, I'd rather oil. I'd rather poop.
Really?
Give me poop or give me death. I don't want oil coming out. I don't want anything coming out of my butt that's clear.
But then it won't stain your very nice.
Oh, it's still going to stain. It's oil.
Yeah,
it's going to
that's
stain
true.
even worse. You're going to be like, oh, what was that stain? Again, not to get gross, but if something's stained with poop, poop stained that. But if oil stained something, you're like, what was that oil? Maybe it was from a dripping candle or something
That
in my
was
underwear.
butt, yeah.
Maybe I tripped maybe I must have tilted the lantern onto my my underwear. That must be where these oil stains came from.
So a lot of people don't like salt and vinegar chips, though.
You know what? I think I might be one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like
We're getting into the different flavors.
Yeah,
here,
you
huh?
need to grow anything to get you out of the oil dripping out of butts monologue that you were delivering.
I'm against it.
I know we're all against oil dripping out of butts, Tom. I mean, not the Lay's Corporation, but
Yeah, they're all for it.
they're for it. They're trying to sell it. Man, they'll sell you anything, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the almighty dollar, huh?
All about the almighty butt oil. All right, Tim, let's talk flavors.
Let's talk
What's your
flavors.
favorite flavor?
I think I might be a salt and vinegar man.
Ah,
I'm
disappointed.
sorry. Yeah, okay. What about you, Tom?
I have two answers.
I used to be a barbecue man.
I'm disappointed, but I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I have two answers. My one is the standard where I can get everywhere in America, which is sour cream and onion.
That's...
But
you know what? You open up a bag of that, though,
Mm-hmm.
it smells like farts.
yeah, that's one of the okay.
All right.
But I will say this: it's a poor substitute for what you were talking about, which is that ranch dipping sauce.
Oh, I mean, above all,
Yeah.
if we're talking
If you
non-dry,
can just get a plain salted potato chip and some of that ranch dipping sauce,
Oh, boy,
that you
oh,
make
boy.
at home with sour cream and the
a packet of yeah,
That's it.
yeah. I'm in heaven. I'm in hog heaven, baby.
Yeah. So sour cream and onion. But if I am abroad or if I am in a eclectic supermarket, cheese and onion.
Cheese and onion, I'm a fan of. Although, I will admit, or I would ask you to admit, that it doesn't taste like you've put like cheese and onion on a chip. This is what I was saying about flavors, right? Like it approximates like a hint of a feeling of the flavor. But like, could you imagine if you topped a potato chip with a slice of cheese?
And a wisp
No, full onion.
and a full onion.
Yeah. You take a chip, you hollow, you just cut a slice out of an onion.
Uh-huh.
You stick one potato chip in there, and a slice of American cheese, and then you eat the onion like an apple. Now that's what I want.
I would do it, but I love onions.
Me too. I think I could eat an onion with like an apple.
Yeah, whenever they show like magicians or whatever tricking people into eating onions, you ever see these tricks?
Yeah, of course, Tom. Yeah.
No, where they like blindfold someone and they make them smell an apple and then they give them an onion and they're like, "Oh, you ate an onion. You
Yeah.
thought it was an apple." I'm always like, I would eat an onion. It'd be fine.
Hey, come to these UK shows. We'll eat onions on the
We'll
stage.
eat onion.
Like
we'll
an
eat
apple.
onions on stage and meet us afterwards.
Yeah, we'll just take a bite out of it.
I will say this though: the cheese and onion taste like they have cheese powder and onion powder on them, which are powders that are acceptable.
Cheese powder?
Sure.
Like the powder that comes with like mac and cheese?
The powder that comes with mac and cheese, or like the
That's
powder.
not meant to be eaten if
No,
not
no,
cut
no.
with a lot of different things.
The powder that goes on like the cheesy popcorn that you get in the tins at Christmas,
Or like Cheeto dust.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You know what? Listen, I was judging you for a second.
Uh-huh.
Now
you're back on my side.
Yeah, I'm on your side.
So it's two
I'm
things.
not against cheese and onion, by the way.
Two things that I'm used to seeing in powder form. So when I get them on a chip, I'm like, okay, this is familiar.
Two great tastes that taste great together.
So like a thing that is a familiar taste, but not familiar as a powder, ketchup flavored chips.
Yeah. Big in Canada.
Yeah, it's a big Canadian treat.
Yeah. Jury's out. I'm not sure. That's a situation where I think the catsup taste might be too strong.
Yeah. It's too much for a potato chip, I think.
Yeah, right?
But I don't know. I don't know if I've really ever had them.
Because I like ketchup on fries, which are fried
Of course,
potatoes.
who doesn't?
But the ratio to a thick fry, and you dip the
Well,
tip
and you've got
in
total control.
Yeah. Compared to a thin chip that's fully dusted with a strong ketchup-like powder, I don't know. I don't know if it works for me. The other thing from Canada that, look, after this, we can never do a show in Canada, Tom.
Right.
The all-dressed chips.
All dressed. First off, the name stinks.
Yeah, and it's all the flavors?
It's all dressed. You know what? I walked by Taco Bell the other day, and now, in the morning they have a naked breakfast tacos.
The shell is made out of eggs.
The shell is made out of egg, which is disgusting.
Yeah. You know what I like to do the first thing in the morning? Mm-hmm. Touch eggs with my bare hands.
Yeah, put them in my mouth.
Yeah.
After I've touched them.
Yeah.
But now they have a dressed breakfast taco. And it's that just with it's that just the way they should have done in the first place, which is with a tortilla shell around it.
Right. Tom, I'll tell you this about all-dressed chips. I don't know if you've had them in Canada.
So all-dressed chips, just to be clear, are barbecue, sour cream and onion, ketchup, and salt and vinegar flavor.
Right.
All the flavors together.
Now, if you've picked up a bag here in NYC,
America.
the greatest city in the world,
Yeah.
you will taste a different flavor profile than if you pick them up in, say, Toronto, which are the two cities in which I have sampled all-dressed chips.
Why did they change it?
Probably because they could pump a whole lot of cheaper shit into the American version.
Right.
Because I did enjoy the Canadian version better.
Okay. I mean,
Also,
those are
I
all
never-
flavors that on their own I like. So
Yeah. But, diminishing returns at some point, man.
But you don't see that as an overwhelming abusive flavor.
I do. I mean, it kind of... I think it's to the point where, like, it just tastes like a bunch of fucking spices. Why am I cussing so much, Tom?
I know.
My wife's gonna... I'm gonna hear it.
She's gonna
get an
have
earful from my wife.
She's gonna tan your hide. Another flavor is popular: dill pickle. You ever have these?
I have. And, Tom, can I tell you something crazy?
You know what I'm realizing as I go through this list, and you're saying you've had these things. I am not adventurous with my chip selections whatsoever. I'm very conservative.
Tom, I'll tell you this much about it,
Chip
too.
conservative.
I enjoyed a dill pickle potato chip before I even liked pickles. At the time, I was not a fan of pickles. And I was like, and I think this chip might have helped.
Gateway drug.
Yeah, might have helped me accept pickles into my life. What do you think about that, huh? Some real
that's
food
wild
for thought.
stuff, man. That's crazy. That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. I mean, and I like if a pickle drips on a chip, I like eating that chip.
How often does that happen? Oh,
it happens all the time with a sandwich.
Sandwich,
Yeah,
pickle,
come on.
chips. At like a
Make me have to be a
beachside
weirdo.
restaurant or
Yeah,
something.
that's all. The only places I eat are beachside restaurants.
Yeah.
Um,
That's not very old rich of you, Tom.
yeah, you're right. I need to start. Where do old rich people eat?
Depressing.
Just like old musty places,
steakhouses,
old musty country clubs.
Yeah, yeah. Most old rich people just eat at like the clubhouse.
Yeah, they have a clubhouse sandwich at the clubhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that comes with pickle and some chips. You think old rich people eat potato chips?
No.
What do they snack on?
I think they only eat potato chips if they're like very thick, and it's like, oh, this is Kitchener's recipe.
I think they eat like artisan potato chips.
Right.
But like I see them eating a potato chip before I see them eating like a string cheese.
Yeah, that's true. Old rich will only eat potato chips cooked on the premises.
Right. By somebody.
A descendant of Kitchener.
Right.
What about...
That was better than what I was going to say. That was less explosively offensive than what I was about to say.
What about jalapeno?
Do you think Statler and Waldorf are racists?
Probably.
Yeah, maybe that's why they don't like the diversity.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the issue they have.
I mean, they're misogynists. Like, I feel like there's a lot of evidence for that.
Yeah. This shouldn't be happening. It's like basically the underlying premise of like...
A frog and a pig. It's against God.
Yeah. Jalapeno?
Jalapeno. Jalapeno.
I like it. And I don't like when people are like, these don't taste hot enough. It's like, no, but it's got the jalapeno flavor.
See, I think a lot of times they're too hot.
You're always dabbing your forehead.
Yeah, and I don't like it. I like hot food, but I like to eat it in private.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't like to eat potato chips around anybody because all the crunching, and I don't like anybody eating a potato chip around me because all the. I was considering bringing some potato chips here. We always stop by beer at the convenience store. I was like, we should get some chips, try them out. John would like us for that. He's sitting over there engineering, trying to tune us out. Yeah, but then I was
wasting away.
Yeah, but all the chewing, no thanks. So all right. So in Colombia, can I read off some of the things that they have there?
All right. Can I do one more mainstream?
Oh, I'm sorry.
BBQ.
Yeah, it used to be my favorite. It's a little too strong for me now.
Yeah, see, that's how I feel. When I was a kid, barbecue chips, great.
We're mellowing out, Tom.
But nowadays, barbecue chips, it's too much for me. It's like a flavor explosion.
Let me ask you this, Tom, and this might be a little bit of a journey, so stay with me here.
Okay.
You know how you see an old timer and he's talking about marijuana, and he's like, "Well, back in the '70s,
it wasn't like it is now.
I used to smoke marijuana." And like I'd smoke a joint, and then like I could still like do whatever.
Go
like
about my day.
But he's like, I take one hit of this stuff these days, and I'm out of my mind. Do you think there's like been like a flavor creep? Where it's like, in the 90s, a barbecue chip was fine. It was manageable.
Yeah, you could eat them at lunch and it'd be fine. You could still go about your day. You could still get work done.
But you eat a bag of Lay's barbecue these days, you're
going to be out of your mind. You're going to be on the couch for the rest of the week.
Yeah. There's probably something to that. They probably ratcheted it up.
Well, I think there were like the barbecue wars during the 90s where like there was an escalation of like, oh, ours tastes the most barbecue-y. Ours do. Because you're right. In the beginning, it was like, oh, there's just like a light. These taste just like salted chips, but there's like a little bit of a smoky, just a little though.
Yeah. Leave something to the imagination.
Yeah, you perverts.
God. All right. So in Colombia.
Colombia.
Yeah, they have lemon is very popular.
Do they have cocaine flavored chips?
All right, Tom. They have lemon. Which I'm very eager to try.
Yeah, I'm curious about those.
You never get many.
In my
the same Wikipedia article. You don't get like the bright, vibrant flavor that much on there, right?
No, and I always like the lime tortilla chips.
Oh hell yeah! That's because they taste kind of like Lucky Charms, right?
Oh, I never thought about that, but you're right.
Yeah, it all comes from the same lab, my friend.
They have the same mouthfeel as Lucky Charms. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Man, we're saying it. We're throwing out all the words. I said delicious before. You said mouthfeel. Chicken. Which, like, how are you going to do that?
Yeah, like
maybe
raw
the
chicken?
Spices that you put on a pot,
right, yeah.
Chorizo, same thing, right?
Yeah, that's just
the
spices.
And the innards of an animal. Sirloin steak with mushroom sauce. And it's just like, at some point, like, you didn't...
I guess I don't have to go to the steakhouse anymore. I can just eat these potato chips.
Yeah.
A lot of people make the mistake in any kind of like a chip situation. I'm talking even like a wheat chip here.
Wheat chip situation?
Where if they make something that's like, barbecue chicken or buffalo chicken, you got to be careful with putting the chicken flavor in there.
Yeah.
Because chicken doesn't have much of a flavor.
I'll tell
and
you
when
this
it's artificial, it's very strange.
Have you ever had the chicken and a biscuit crackers?
Yeah. And
that's chickeny, my friend.
Yeah, and it's weird. I don't like it.
It's like it's been soaked in broth. I kind of like it.
It's
soaked in broth and then like recooked.
Yeah.
Or just like not cooked at all, and they just put broth in it and then cooked it.
Right.
It's more likely.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's probably a little bit easier because otherwise the chips would be overcooked.
Yeah. Why would they cook something and then get them all soggy just to recook them again?
Have you ever had prawn cocktail chips?
No. I think I think I've had prawn something.
Yeah.
And prawn, shrimp, that skeeves me out. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because then it's just like, well, prawn or shrimp cocktail is just ketchup and horseradish sauce flavor, which is fine. It would maybe be a fine chip flavor. But then it's like, yeah, but we got to sell it. Put a little fishy in there. And I don't like a fishy taste in anything.
Exactly. Tom, horseradish, what's the deal with it?
It's from the wasabi plant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't just like eat it.
What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, you could eat it. You could eat wasabi.
Like straight from the source?
Yeah,
You'd
it's
die.
like a root.
You'd die.
You wouldn't die. It'd be very spicy.
Yeah.
It'd be very hot.
I might die.
You might die. You're weak.
Yeah. Sensitive.
You're a weak, sensitive boy.
Yeah.
Who is now a weak, sensitive man.
We did it, Tom.
If you like the show, you can check out more at tcgt.com. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Complete Guide. You can follow us on Twitter @Complete Guide. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram @ Tom Reynolds.
You can follow me on those things at Your Pal Tim.
And you can support the show by supporting our sponsors, which this week was MeUndies, which were great. And you can also check out tcgt.com/Amazon for your Amazon shopping, and tcgt.com/pledge, where you can join our Patreon and get fun bonuses like weekly mini episodes that sometimes come in big batches.
Yep.
And if you're in Edinburgh and or London, come to our live shows this week, tcgt.com/tour.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And if you're coming to those shows, let us solve one of your problems on stage. The Complete Guide to Everything at gmail.com.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. It's always fun.
It will be fun.
I feel like we might have I think we dodged a bullet, Tom.
What's that?
Not going into the brands. Because I don't know Walkers from
Lay's.
Yeah.
They're like the same, though, right?
Yeah. It's like, also, who cares about the... Look, I like a kettle chip.
Uh-huh.
I like a Miss Vicky's chip. And then everything, like, look, they're fine. Everything's good.
Yeah, there's actually not a brand that I like actively or like, oh, no. I mean, maybe Munchos.
You don't like?
That I'll avoid. But otherwise, like...
Well, they're just an ancillary product.
Otherwise, I feel like I eat potato chips so infrequently that, like, I'm up for whatever, whoever's got the newest spiel to me, like, sure, I'll try it out.
Yeah, I mean, we found that not to be true, kind of.
Right.
But, like,
yeah,
I feel like you're an unadventurous
no, I've had
potato
those,
chip eater.
Yes.
Because in the realm of snack foods, you're like, well, potato chips are child's play. I'm going to go for some, like, crazy off-the-wall Cheeto, like a dangerous Cheeto.
Yeah, or dangerous combos.
Yeah.
A combos combination that's against God.
This might be a twist ending, Tom.
Uh-huh.
But after all the praise I've given potato chips,
yeah,
I feel like they're not worth it. If you're going to eat something shitty that's going to, like, do damage to your health,
yeah,
go for
eat
something
more delicious.
Yeah, more adventurous. Like, they're like... Don't just be like, hey, all these trans fats that are fucking clogging my arteries, like,
yeah,
eat
go have
mozzarella
a cheeseburger
sticks.
or
Yeah,
something. Yeah, have a slice of pizza instead of chips.
So our verdict on potato chips is eat pizza instead.
We'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.